Thank you very much for speaking. And as I've said before, we appreciate your point of view, and we'll discuss it. Moving right along. Yeah, I lost my
It's the audit committee report.
audit committee report. Dan, thank you.
The audit committee met with Tom Telling and his group of workers. Sam was here one day, and then Kyle was here with him. Karen
Nice.
Meister, myself, Rick was online for the meeting. They were just getting started on the audit for the week, so they're waiting on some reports still to come in from the state. I don't know if they've been released yet or not from the state, but they were working, just getting started on the audit, and we should see their final report October.
Any questions for Dan?
I think so.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Seymour to his first meeting, and appreciate being here. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. It is nice to be here with you all. I appreciate that. For those of you who are in attendance from the public, my name is Tim Seymour. I'm the new superintendent here. Very pleased to be in the service of the district. And anyone who's joining us remotely, I look forward to meeting you in the days, months, and years to come. I've had about a week on site here in the district, and it's been a very fruitful week. And I've had an opportunity, first and foremost, to really get a sense of the state of the district and the unique perspectives that some of the key players on our administrative team and throughout the district play. So over the past week, I've had some one-on-one conversations with Karen, with Dr. Catania, who was kind enough to come in despite his retired status and give me some pointers, which I was keen to receive. With Teresa Lindsay, Tammy Casey, Sonia Franklin, Dana Wood, Brendan Gotham, and Jenny Winch, representing the LPEA, Bill Kissel, our regional law firm, and Douglas Gerhardt. I also had an opportunity to get a sense of some of the board preparation norms that take place, and I was very grateful that Rick and Dan were able to come in person to kind of show me the way that this traditionally is done here in Placid. And I also had an opportunity, amongst others, to meet with Patty Mayberry, Cora Clark, and Dave Mayberry from the union. So I've really had just a fantastic experience to date. And the focus of these meetings, in addition to understanding the processes in the district, just getting to know some of the key players, is also to get a sense of some of the goals that those respective players have for the year and how those might flow into a district vision for the year, and would be bolstered by the goals that the board develops for itself and approves in September. And all of those efforts have gone very well. Later this week, the administrative team and I will be finalizing our plans for the beginning of the school year. I'll discuss some of the less than normative things coming from the state education department in the subsequent agenda item under the COVID update. But we also are going to be working to create a district communication plan and to once again try and unify our goals under a common vision. I've had the opportunity to review the staff survey that I sent out 6 weeks prior to my arrival. I was very pleased that 76 participants amongst the staff did complete the survey. And I do intend to discuss that at a bit greater length with the board in a subsequent meeting in September. But I did just want to highlight a couple items that certainly I've been trying to focus on since my arrival. I kind of am looking at them as like 3 C's, if you will. The staff indicated that their hope for me in terms of processes is that I act as a clear communicator, communication being the first C. They expressed a desire for consistency across the district in the actions and words that we have in all of our facilities. And the third C is a desire for some greater centralization from district office to try and deploy our resources and schedule our professional development and meet the needs of kids with a district-wide focus. So from my perspective, initially, I've just been looking at those three C's of communication, consistency, and centralization. They also identified a few specific issues that I've been honing in on with the administrative team. There is a hope that we are able to address the substitute coverage debacle that has occurred over the past 2 years. And I know uniformly, we've been throwing ideas around and we're excited to hopefully relieve that overtaxed system. There was much discussion about making improvements using some of our recovery plan money from the federal government for our instructional technology so that we can stay on the cutting edge to provide a good experience for our students. And also adding some systems management support for our technology staff. And last but not least, just a desire for us to just try and continue to clarify the expectations for the staff generally in a time that is ambiguous due to the many things that are happening that are outside of the district's control. Beyond my experience over the past several days, I'm incredibly proud of the efforts that I've witnessed the administrative team perform over the past week. The principals and CSE chair have been completing the first of 2 days of TCIS training, which is Therapeutic Crisis Intervention in Schools. This is not a required training by state law, but it does teach the safest, least restrictive, and best practices to intervene if student behaviors are escalating, if students aren't being successful in their learning environment. So I commend the principals and CSE chair for their efforts. Mrs. Franklin and the elementary staff are preparing for an open house on September 2nd. So I'm certainly pleased that I'll have an opportunity to welcome families back a few days before we actually invite students to the building, and that will give them some nice acclimation time prior to the start of school. If you saw the Adirondack Enterprise over the last week or so, I would like to give a shout out to our own Nora Galvin, who became a 46er at the age of 14. There was an excellent write-up in the paper, and I hope to be a 46er by 74, but 14 is certainly admirable. So we commend Nora for her outstanding efforts. This is just a side thought for the board. No comment needed unless this does spur discussion. But our district superintendent, Dale Brielle, has informed me that they are seeking a BOCES board member for Lake Placid Central School. If there is a board member that is interested, they would attend a meeting on the third Thursday of each month. So unless there is objection to that, we can table that discussion until September, as there isn't an immediate rush, unless anyone is feeling compelled to raise their hand and acclaim enjoyment and success at this moment. Seeing none, as Rick might say, I will continue on my report. Yesterday was new staff orientation. From my perspective, the event was a great success. Having now worked in 3 school districts, I can say with great confidence that the event was streamlined. It was quaint, informative. It was really just an outstanding success from my perspective. I learned as much as I imparted to those who were there, so I was most grateful. I want to thank the administrative team for organizing that and putting it together. I especially want to thank Amy Spicer for her incredible efforts as she's going through her administrative internship. Amy is making all of us look good, and we are sharing credit as best as we can. But thank you, Amy. You are an outstanding asset to the team. And just to briefly review some of those things that were discussed, yesterday at the new staff orientation, there was a tour of the district. There was some training about some key software and technology in the district. There were conversations with both unions to the new members. I discussed tenure expectations. We had a great lunch at the cottage, and we just had an opportunity to converse. So all told, I was very proud and honored to be a part of that and to join this new team. I have talked sufficiently from my perspective, but I'd like to toss the proverbial mic, if I could, to my colleagues on the administrative team. So being new here and only being here a week, I thought it would be appropriate if I asked each of the principals to briefly speak about summer programming for students. This is the final week of summer programs, and I thought it would be informative for myself and for the board to hear from each of the principals about what the goals for summer programs were, how the programs went, and any takeaways they might have that would inform our understanding. So in no particular order other than seating, Mrs. Franklin, how has summer programming gone? And what are your thoughts?
When I sent you. Yeah. All right, so as you can see by the slide, our enrollment was 32 students, grades K through 5. Our 3 general education teachers were Alexa Angelopoulos, Buffy Meyerhart, and Elizabeth Marchbanks. 2 of them are new to summer school. So it was kind of nice, and it was a great opportunity to kind of put a fresher spin on summer school with having 2 movies on there. We also had Peggy Moore, a teaching assistant, and 3 ESY classes in our building at the time. ESY? It's extended school year, special ed students, and they received their services as well. Our focus was on maintaining the current level of skills, eliminating the summer slide, and decreasing the opportunity gap, all while building relationships, which we all know is key to student success, and demonstrating that learning can be fun. Some of you may recall many years ago, I presented to the board a request of Dr. Catania, a summer program I used to do in my former district. So I'm kind of trying to get more into that hide the learning type of summer program that makes kids interested. In fact, we had 2 students attend summer school this summer that had a less than 50% attendance during the school year. They were there every day they possibly could, except for one gap of time where they were actually, one of them was in the hospital with other issues, non-COVID related. But they were quoted, and the mother sent me a text message stating that they really wanted to go. They were really having a great time. They really enjoyed it. So to have kids like that present really spoke a lot to that coursework. Part of that is this what we looked at. Each class had 1 day of hiking and 1 day, a separate day of paddling on Hart Lake, because we worked with the Lake Placid Outing Club and the staff at Mount Holmberg. All the classes every Wednesday, with the work of the Lake Placid Public Library, had a library-based class which dealt with English language arts skills as well as library skills. For example, they talked about alliterations during one class, so I got to see them going around and figuring out what alliterations were. She did an excellent job, given her focus her focus group was K through 5. She was able to differentiate for all the kids, and we still had that same topic as a lesson. All of the classes will be attending a culminating activity, which is at the movie theater with the Palace Theater, which of course we do have an in on that, so I can't take much credit for that. And with the help of the summer food program, all the students walked out with a meal on their way out the door. So to me, that's also one of the large successes of it, that we were able to do that. So those things combined is kind of that step that I'm looking for, going through a more enjoyable, more enriching summer experience with our kids.
You want to talk a bit about what's been going on in the middle school?
Well, yeah, actually, we at the middle school, high school have been extremely blessed this summer to have what we call our SSP, or summer school principal intern, Amy Spicer. And so it's been absolutely a wonderful summer for both Tammy and I to be working alongside Amy. So since she has been in charge, we thought it would be best if she presented the information to you this evening. Have her jump in with both feet, right?
Sounds familiar, actually. Head first.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us here for our report. So we have 3 goals for summer school at the middle high school. We wanted to reteach content,
to have our students learn and practice new skills and provide a positive environment in July and August for our students. This year we had 43 students in total. In talking with Tammy and Teresa, that's a lot higher in the past. The past we've had 12. We've averaged about 12 to 14 for both middle school and high school. And in talking about these statistics today, we discussed such a high number being related to the COVID pandemic, our teachers maintaining high academic standards even when we had to go remote, and also when students had to quarantine, and some of our students had to quarantine multiple times, unfortunately. We offered 11 different courses with 3 live and engaging teachers, Mr. Burdick, Mr. Bosworth, and Mrs. Morgan. And then we also offered 5 courses online. These were credit recovery courses, and this is through our program called Ingenuity. Ingenuity, like I said, is an online program where students learn on their own, but the program is a little bit more interactive than in the past. There's videos, graphs, there's teachers who do interact with them, and then students who work at their own pace through the programs. We also, as Sonia talked about, we have extended school year students at the middle high school. And as she said, these are our special education students who receive related services. Students with disabilities, they go beyond the regular school year and in accordance with their IEPs. We also had enrichment this year as well. These are our instrumental music lessons. This is run by Emily Kukupka. She started this program in 2017. This year she's had 22 students, which is her largest year. She's very excited about it. She's run this Tuesdays and Thursdays for the past 6 weeks. And this is broken down to 9 elementary students. This is the first year that the elementary students have been invited. The feedback that we've gotten is that they're very excited to be a part of it. And then 13 middle school students as well. We have several important takeaways from summer school this year. The first part was that we were short-staffed. We hired a teacher who ended up taking a different job a few weeks prior to summer school starting. And while we were really happy for her, we were short one teacher. We could not find a replacement for her. But our staff was extremely flexible and committed to our student success, and they made it work. They all worked together to do that. We also provided free lunch, and this was because Dana Wood applied for the summer school food program through the USDA, and we are being reimbursed just like last year. So just as Sonia said, we are able to provide those lunches every day for our students, and we also provide snacks in the morning. We provide a positive environment and welcoming environment for all of our students who are participating in summer school. Summer school also helps with student retention. It reduces the dropout rate and keeps our students on track to graduate on time. And we've had multiple student successes. For example, we've had 2 students who achieved the necessary skill level and were able to complete their programs in just 4 weeks instead of 6. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is my report, made far better than I could have done. Thanks for your efforts.
Thank you very much to you all. Any questions, comments?
We had a great summer with the children. Wonderful.
Okay, next agenda item is COVID-19 update. There are 2 files attached. Hope you are able to take the time and look those over. Information for the board. There are several files there. The signed conflict of interest statements. Those just need to be reviewed. Karen, correct?
Yeah, and they just get filed.
Just to check them for accuracy, please. We filled them out last meeting, I believe. The claims audit quarterly report and the active committees, which Karen has taken out the old and put in the new. So, any comments, questions on those 3 items? If not, moving along to discussion phase of our meeting. Goals and objectives. You had an opportunity on Google Docs to look over the goals and objectives for the board. In front of you, I copied off and gave you a paper form, because that's the way I like things, so I'll pass that on to you. What I did was just extract from the Google Docs and put them into this format. Were there changes made? Most definitely, so please, if you're passionate about one or two areas, please make sure you fill those in. If I've translated something that is not totally accurate or creates some ambiguity or lack of clear examples that are listed, please let me know. So what we can do is keep the paper copy. You can comment on these. You can also continue to comment on board docs, and I'll continue to go in and look at those. But whatever way, I know some people had problems with Google Docs. So if you want the Word document, and you can do a color-coded thing like we used to do years ago, that's okay too. Just let me know. We will be accepting this document as the 21-22 school year board goals and objectives in our one of our September meetings. Comments, questions?
Thanks for sifting through all that.
Certainly. Okay. Minutes from the board meeting, that was under consent. Personnel matters. We have several appointments here. The first is a teaching staff appointment. Upon recommendation of the superintendent, appoint Sarah Carnival, permanent certification in math 7 through 12 and 5 and 6 extension for the position of 6th grade math teacher for the middle high school in the tenure area of math, effective September 1st, 2021, for a 3-year term tentatively scheduled to conclude on August 31st, 2024. For the 2021-2022 school year, the salary will be $61,772. Step 16, the master's plus 60 of the LPEA negotiated agreement, July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. May I have a motion to accept this appointment? For Daniel, Colleen, thank you. Second, Colleen. Any discussion?
I think it was exciting to read her resume. It's pretty extensive, and I think she's going to be a huge bonus to the middle school math program. So I was pretty excited to see it. I think it'll be great for the kids.
If there are no further comments, please vote. 7 yes. Motion passes. The next appointment is a long-term teaching staff appointment. On recommendation of the superintendent, David Snyder, professional certification in physical education and health, is hereby appointed to a long-term position of physical education teacher in the elementary school for the 2021-2022 school year. Salary will be at $51,274, step 5, master's plus 35. For the 2021-2022 school year, based on the salary negotiated agreement in the LPEA schedule dated July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. This service will not be credited towards tenure. May I have a motion, please? Martha and Dan. Any comments, questions? Is that? If not, please vote. 7 yes. No no's. The motion passes. Thank you. The third long-term teaching appointment. Upon the recommendation of superintendent, appoint Eric Dornbush to the long-term position of secondary math teacher in the high school for the 2021-2022 school year. Salary will be $53,332, step 7, master's plus 45. of the teacher's salary schedule for the 2021-2022 school year. This service will not be credited towards tenure. May I have a motion for this appointment? Holly? In a second. Thank you, Dan. Comments, discussion? Please vote. And 7 yes. Motion passes. This next appointment will be a long-term teaching staff appointment. On the recommendation of the superintendent, Margaret Kern is hereby appointed to the long-term position for special education teacher in the middle and high school beginning September 2nd, 2021 through June 25th, 2022. Certification pending in the state of New York. Salary will be $72,175, step 25, master's plus 30. The 2021-2022 school year, based on the salary schedule and the negotiated agreement of the LPEA, dated June 1st, 2020 through July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. This service will not be credited towards tenure. I have a motion for this appointment.
Yes.
Thank you, Liam. Second. Thank you, Joan. Any discussion, questions?
Got a extensive background and experience, so, and got another bonus coming in.
7 yes, 0 no. Teaching assistant appointment. Upon recommendation of the superintendent, appoint Teresa Penne, certification pending, to the position of teaching assistant in the tenure year of teaching assistant for a probationary period of 4 years, commencing when certification is obtained and anticipated to end August 31st, 2025. Salary for the 2021-2022 school year is step 13, level 3, $31,614 of the LPEA negotiated July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023 contract. I have a motion for this appointment. Second? Yeah. Thank you, Dan. A discussion? If not, please vote. Seven yes, 0 no, motion passes. Next, we have a teaching assistant appointment. On the recommendation of the superintendent, appoint Catherine Niederbuell, certification pending, to the position of teaching assistant in the tenure area of teaching assistant for a probationary period of 4 years, commencing when certification is obtained and anticipated to end in August 31st, 2025. Salary for the 2021-22 school year is step 1, level 3, which is $27,002 of the LPEA negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. They have a motion to accept this appointment.
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Liam. Second. Martha. Discussion?
We've had some pretty good hires here. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, she sounds like she's a local girl, and name sounds familiar. Like,
I think family's out of Bloomingdale.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Motion passes 7-0. The last appointment is a long-term teaching assistant appointment. The recommendation is, upon the recommendation of superintendent, appoint Sienna Akes, certification pending, to the position of teaching assistant for the 2021-2022 school year. Salary for the 2021-22 school year is step 1, level 1, which is $25,945 of the LPEA negotiated agreement dated July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. This service will not be credited towards tenure. May I have a motion for this appointment. Thank you, Dan. Second. Colleen. Discussion.
It's an interesting background to the position of a teaching assistant. Interesting. Great.
And yes, zero, motion passes. In other action items, the New York State School Board Association Annual Convention approval, the recommended action is whereas the board wishes to send up to 4 members of the Board of Education, including the superintendent, the New York State School Board Association Annual Convention in New York City on October 24th through 26th, 2021, at a cost of $515 per person plus travel expenses. Whereas monies have been budgeted for board members to attend conferences, now therefore it be resolved that the board hereby approves up to 4 people to attend the NYSBA Annual Convention in New York City, New York, on October 24th through the 26th, 2021, at a cost of $515 per person plus travel expenses. And have a motion to accept this approval.
I'll second that.
Discussion. No discussion. Karen had listed in the deadlines for that to get the early rate. So Dana would appreciate if you got your wishes in before the price went up. Approve 7. Setting of tax levy and signing of tax warrants. Our recommended action is to set the tax levy for the Lake Placid Central School District and to approve the signing of the tax warrants for the towns of Lake Placid and Wilmington, New York, in order for the district to begin collection of taxes on September 1st, 2021 through November 3rd, 2021. Based on the information provided to the Board of Education and placed on file with the district clerk, the resolution is attached hereto and made a part hereof. May I have a motion to approve the tax levy and signing of the tax warrants? Any discussion? Dana, you have anything to add?
No, the rate went down 5%. But the value went up. That's a big reason why it went down. Assessed homes went up quite a bit in the district. Remind the public, we have nothing to do with that. Every year we get somebody, we have nothing to do with
That
that.
is correct.
We get it from the county and we get it from the towns. We just go with the number the county gives us. Yes.
I have 7 yeses. 0 no's, the motion passes. Please do not leave tonight. Everyone has to sign the tax warrant, please. Special education was under the consent agenda unless someone has any questions on the packet or questions related to the August 17th, 2021 packet. Hearing nothing, this is the next for the good of the cause where the public is invited to speak. Would anybody like to speak? Thank you. So we will enter the adjournment phase of the meeting. Next meeting dates are August 17th, 2020, if needed, or 2021, excuse me, if needed. As of now, are we looking at?
Warrant passed.
Right.
I'm 17th, I would say definitely.
We will, there is a potential for a brief special meeting correct?
Perhaps we may need one on the 24th if clarity is not provided by the state. Additional clarity.
The next regularly scheduled meeting is September 7th, 2021. But stand by for a potential meeting later in the month, a short meeting. Any old business? Any new business?
I might have a liaison report at our next meeting. The email went out. I've been able to act as a liaison the last 3 years, and generally the size of the group. We were initially meeting in Albany with Elise Stefanik with about 8 different people from around the state, and that was really interesting. Where an opportunity for us to go and discuss issues of concern that are pertinent to our district. Last year it was Chuck Schumer. This year it's Kristen Gillibrand, but I'm on a wait list. As soon as the email went out, there was only 10 people that were allowed to participate. It was via Zoom. But I felt like I was a teenager trying to get concert tickets because as soon as I hit the button it was like, nope, you're out. So I don't know, I may still get in, but and if I do, I'll be checking in with Mr. Seymour to see if there's I have a couple of ideas, but if there's other ideas that I could bring forth on behalf of the district. So maybe I'll have a report, maybe not.
Thank you for your efforts. Any other new business, old business?
I wanted to suggest that we consider doing the retreat that we received the mailing about. We're helping our new superintendent to settle in gracefully. It seems timely that we would receive that in the mail. So I'd like to consider doing it.
Okay, that we discuss that next time.
Sure.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody have? All right. Again, I thank everyone for coming and speaking and adding to our meeting. It's very much appreciated. At this point, may I have a motion to adjourn? Danielle, second.
Yes.
Liam, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is officially adjourned. Thank you. Again, don't forget.
For coming, everyone.